far as with TSP, there's 3 openings there.
Right.
And I know that who works the retail class.
Right.
That would be perfect.
At this point, I think maybe a change of administration might be good for you. Fresh start might be the best thing, so because, there does seem to be some kind of issue as far as,
Right, but if there is that potential to have that be in that class, my ideal preference would be the retail class at TSP.
But TSP is still the same principal, so it's not going to be a fresh start. You understand?
Right, but in your letter in yesterday, you spoke to me saying that you don't think the transfer is feasible because they already denied it.
I'm not hopeful, but it doesn't mean we can't ask.
Right, but if anything, I'd rather be in that class because, again, I contribute to the program. I'm familiar with the students and staff.
Right.
I'm
The
popular
idea,
there.
though, behind that meaning that if we're going to pursue a transfer, I would rather go for something. TSP,
Well, I'm
I think,
looking-
is going to be a flat-out no.
But I'm looking for a placement, not necessarily a transfer. Why would TSP be a flat out? No, I need to know why that is.
A fresh start may be better for everybody.
She is not a visible presence at that school. You rarely see her. I mean, she's cited this thing about not being friendly. I mean, I don't see her. I see her maybe 4 or 5 times a year, on the hallway or something like that.
I understand what
So
you're saying.
what I'm saying is that I don't think that should dictate my placement. My placement overall should be where I'm most productive, and that's where I think.
I totally understand what you're saying, but I have to work in what's best for you as a member and what is grounded in what can actually happen.
I mean, if you can act in my best interest, that would be my best interest. My first preference or priority would be try to stay in the TSP program. We'll get back to the TSP program, who's a retail skills teacher. I've been in that program for 16 years. I'd be willing to sit down with her, even request a meeting with her.
What did they say?
She said she'll get back to me. And I haven't heard from her since.
Yeah, my feeling is that it's a personality issue.
Yeah, it is.
And that she thinks somehow you've been a stone in her shoe for one reason or the other. And so her reaction is to put you in a classroom that is more difficult.
Right.
Rather than reward you by putting you in a classroom which is like the Cadillac of the program. I think that's the crux of the issue.
Right, but we can work around that. TSP has 3 TA openings out of 5 classes.
But I don't know if it's about most sense or if it's
But I don't work
becomes
with...
a pissing contest. It's always about the principal.
But fences can be mended.
Can be a bit stubborn sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
That's who she is.
Accepting that is not acceptable. Accepting somebody's stubbornness and being unprofessional and immature
You
isn't.
can't change the personality of the principal. It doesn't work that way.
But this is a job. It's supposed to be based on professional needs. To say that someone has a poor personality, that's inexcusable. The fact is that I've been there a long time. And if we can work this out, we can work it out. You're taking a very defeatist
When
attitude.
we can, but in human interactions, personality always plays a key part. Any idea what started this whole thing?
I think it stemmed from, I made these videos during the program, and I guess...
Right, I remember you saying that.
And I didn't do it the following because it was very time consuming. I would stay after school till 4 o'clock sometimes, and I think she took that the wrong way.
Okay.
But you can't demand someone to stay after school and...
Not at all.
So, Stephen, the main reason for our meeting today is because I'm in receipt of your rebuttal to your end-of-the-year evaluation from last year. It's inappropriate for you to continue to reference the same complaints that have already been investigated. So it's the principal's responsibility to evaluate the teachers and not yours.
I've been at TSP for 16 years, and the first 14 years, my evaluations, it's all been highly effective or effective. I've been cited for my sense of humor, being the go-to person, being collaborative with staff and students. In the last 2 evaluations, 2018, 2019, there have been no highly effectives. There have been 4 developings and 3 ineffectives in areas that I've been deemed either effective or highly effective previous before. Suddenly, in her writing, my humor was no longer appropriate. I am no longer collaborative. question my relationship with staff and students. My biggest issue with that actual evaluation is to say that I'm on a personal agenda. Nothing is ever brought to my attention. Things that are stated about relationship with teachers or not following, it's never brought to my attention. Nothing happens during the year that I'm aware of. The biggest issue I have is saying that I'm on a personal agenda. My role at TSP has always been not just to acclimate to that class, but to the entire school itself. It's 5 classes. I have been asked to take care of the yearbook, okay, which involves all the students, and that's a school-wide thing. I've been asked to put together the school newsletter, again, involving all the other classes and the teachers. I've been asked to take care of the talent show, which involves downloading, editing music, doing the videos, putting together videos. I have been asked, this year I was asked to put together a basketball team. So my personal agenda is not my personal agenda. It's to help anybody that asks me for help. And I am the go-to person there. And if you were to read through some of the evaluations that were written before, it explains that I am that go-to person. I'm very collaborative with staff, and this is what I do. So I don't understand where that comment is as far as having my own, I tend to work on my own personal agenda. It's pretty well known that I have, computer skills and technical skills, so I'm that go-to person.
As he stated, from 2014 to 2017, he had multiple highly effectives. His commentary is not just good, but kind of glowing, actually. He's commended
Like
for
outstanding.
Yeah, he's commended for all of the things that he brings to the program, including all the extracurricular stuff that he spent multiple hours of his personal time doing for the program as well. So when he states that there really was not much evidence for improvement, then there really wasn't.
Feedback is important, and examples and evidence of the ratings is important. Specific feedback will be given to you as any situations occur that may require it.
But I do believe that there was meetings held with you and write-ups received reflected in the end of the year evaluation that you got a formal memo outlining.
I was asked to go to counseling. I went 3 times, and I notified her every time. So I don't understand. No, I'm not complying with program regulations.
An event occurred in the summer of 2017 wherein you transported it should read, former student. It was not a current student.
I'm aware that it was not a current student.
So could that be corrected?
Well, there really is no reason to correct that. So the basis of that, or the crux of that particular issue, was that Stephen was not authorized to bring the student onto campus. It's of no consequence whether the student was former or current. In that particular case, he was not authorized. So,
but in terms of us and school, it is a big deal if you transport a current student as to transporting a former student. Former students we are allowed to transport.
are you responsible for transporting students during the day? Do you drive students around?
Do I drive students around?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
To identify the person that was in the car, we were referring to it as a student because that's how Mr. Berkowitz formed a relationship.
Well, we can drive former students. I don't know why you guys are digging in on saying former student as opposed to student. Simply clarifies what happened.
All right, so this meeting is actually not to discuss last year's meetings
Right.
or the memo.
I do have a very strong work ethic. I will stay in the building after hours. You know, I do what I feel is right. My attendance record, I had no sick days for 3 years before last year.
Really?
Yeah, no sick days between 2015 and 2018.
Impressive.
Part of the reason when I had that sandal, I was trying to make a case to stay at work. You know, I wasn't like looking to run away. That was part of the thing with that. I just want to point out that I do like working, I like being there. I enjoy being in that program. I also know that there's actually 3 openings at TSP. One of them is the retail class. My skills would be very enhanced there. I know the students, I know the staff there. I would like to know why there's been some of the, you know, the issues going forward. I know when I was pulled out, she wouldn't tell me why, but I'd like to know, you know, what it was about, and that would be great.
This is not what I expected today, to be totally honest, because our interactions here at HR, and I think that there has been some anger, and I think you own a piece of that, right?
I had no idea you had no sick days the last 3 years. I mean, we deal all the time with attendance issues, so to have 0 sick days for 3 years, it's pretty impressive.
It was some kind of personal thing, you know, that she put me down.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Stephen. I'm really not, you know, but we just have to, it's a game.